Yesterday we learned in this parsha the Dvar Malchut. Again, Dvar Malchut means the words of royalty. These were speeches that were given by the Lubavitcher Rebbe right before he had a stroke that rendered him unable to speak. So this is sort of like orders, commandments, directions for all of the Hasidim to do what Judaism was brought in the world to do, and that is to bring Moshiach. The whole reason the world was created, the whole essence of Judaism is to bring Moshiach. One person like Moses, but unlike Moses, Moshiach is someone that the Jewish people are going to have to bring. They have to bring the Moshiach. And who's going to convince the Jewish people to bring the Moshiach? The Moshiach himself. So Moshiach is going to bring Moshiach. But it depends on the Jewish people. There has to be Jewish people in the middle. And that's exactly what's going on over here. The Lubavitcher Rebbe picture. Lubavitcher Rebbe, here it is. He is the Moshiach. He is definitely the Moshiach of our generation. And our generation is the last generation of exile. And all these confusing things that you see going around in the world with this corona and the shots and all this stuff, and the lying and the cheating and the trickery and this going on. And this is only to bring Mashiach. The whole world is turning over. But on the other hand, we have to know what we're waiting for. We have to be expecting Mashiach. We have to be waiting for Mashiach, right? Don't get too accustomed to being in exile. One minute. Where's this? I went too far. All right, so now we are in the month of Adar. The month of Adar is Moses' month. It's the month of Moses. Why is it the month of Moses? Why? Because it says that Haman wanted to and had the power to destroy all the Jews in one day. But he wanted to go according to the occult, mysticism. And so he wanted to pick the right time according to some sort of whatever it is, mystical practices that he had. And he threw lots. And it came out on exactly the best month, what he thought. The month of Udar, which the month of Udar has no holidays in it until he made the holiday of Purim. But when he threw, there was no Purim yet. Month of Udar that had no, and also according to the zodiac, the sign of Udar is fish. I think in English it's called Pisces. And spiritually, there was no merit to that month. It didn't correspond to any of the tribes or whatever, anyway. And also, it was the month that Moses died. So he had three good things going for him, so he thought. But he didn't know that Moses was also born on the same day that he died. He was born 120 years later. The same date in the month of Adar, Zion, Adar, he died, and that made Haman happy. But Haman didn't know that he was born also. He was also born on the seventh day of Adar, and that turned the whole thing around. Says the Rebbe, 1 second, but there were still two other things. That Adar is the month that there's no holidays in it, and Adar is the month where the mazal, where the zodiac, what the zodiac sign is not a good one. What about that? That still remains. It's not that the Moses was born. That changes the whole thing. In fact, even more, it says that Moses, not just the day that he was born, changed things, but the month he was born in that month, it made the whole month a happy month. Says the Rebbe that really we can even say more, that the fact that the month of Adar is the month for the Jews, we'll understand why in a minute. this is also in the fact that the month of Adar is this year. It came out to practice, but in fact, when there has to be a double month, an extra month, so that's the month of the Ibur, is Adar. Chodesh Kaful, it's a double month. 2 months, 60 days. And the month of Adar comes to be 60 days instead of 30 days. By means of it, by means of this, we talked about this yesterday. The Arabs, the Arab calendar goes only according to the moon. As a result, their holidays can occur. Also, there's a holiday of Ramadan. Sometimes it can be in the winter, sometimes in the summer, because it has no connection to the sun whatsoever. By the how do you say the Americans, the Europeans, their calendar goes only according to the sun. It has no connection to the moon whatsoever. The first day of June, the first day of July, the first day of September, the moon can be full, the moon can be new, the moon can be empty, the moon can be half. There's no connection to the moon whatsoever. But the holidays always come at the same time, right? The holiday Easter always comes out at this time, and etc. And so by the Jews, though, it's lahavdil. It comes out both. We go according to the moon, so the beginning of every month is always the first sliver of the moon. That's when the month starts. But also the holidays occur in certain seasons. So Passover, for instance, that's the main one. Passover occurs always in the spring. Has to be in the spring. If you go only according to the moon, then Passover will occur like it does in the Arab holidays. Sometimes it'll be in the spring, sometimes in the month. But it says the holiday of Passover has to be b'chodesh aviv. It has to be. How do they reconcile? How do they correct it? They make an extra month. Once every 3 years, they make an extra month. That extra month is the month of Adar. So that extra month comes out that it corrects all the other months, so that all the other months are the way they're supposed to be. Va'alof and shel shleimus v'tamimos, that the year becomes complete. Yoter mishana sachama, more than the solar year. All the months of the year are months of the moon. Month is moon. Month. Shaychas liYisrael, the Domin and the Jewish people, they're compared to the moon. And the Jewish people, they calculate their months according to the moon. And it says the Jewish people are going to be full like the moon, which is not the case. All the rest of the world, they are similar to the sun, which is the same thing all the time. So it says that therefore the greatness of the month of Adar is that this is the mazel, the month of the Jewish people. And there's a lot of details involved in here. First of all, Udar in what's called the pregnant year, like this year, in a 13-month year, this has 2 months in it. The novelty of this, that there's a new moon that's born, right? A new moon. This hints at the novelty of the Jewish people. This is double in this month. In the month of Adar, there's 2 renewals. 2 renewals. That's because it's 2 Adars. Number 2, in the month of Adar, in a pregnant year, there are 60 days. This is the ending of Bittul B'Shishim. Bittul B'Shishim is a term which is used in forbidden foods generally. Forbidden foods. What is Bittul B'Shishim? There's a law in that, for instance, it's forbidden to eat pork, right? Pork is forbidden. If a piece of pork falls into your soup, falls into your cholent, and you pull it out, it's boiling hot, and a piece of pork falls into it, and you pull it out. So now we have to estimate how much cholent was there. Kosher cholent. A lot, come on, let's eat it. No, one second. There were 100 gallons of potatoes and kosher meat and everything like that. And 1 gallon of pork fell in. And I took it out. I took the pork out. What's the law now? It says, took the pork out. Says no problem. Says, no, there's a problem. We say that the taste of the pork still remains 100%. So we have 1 how much did I say? 1 gallon of taste. So let's do it by going back again. We have 100 gallons of kosher cholent and 1 gallon of pork that fell in. And you pull the pork out. What's the law? It says to pull it out, it's permissible. Why is it permissible? Because there's more than 60 against the pork. In other words, if you would have had 1 gallon of pork that fell into 59 gallons of kosher cholent meat that was boiling, the whole thing would be forbidden. Even if you took the pork out, it'd be forbidden. Because 60 is the number, the amount that negates the taste of something forbidden. So something, let's say milk, falls into 60 times as much meat. 1 ounce of milk falls into 60 ounces of meat, and it gets mixed in and you can't take the milk out, it's permissible. There's 60 times. There's no taste there anymore. If so, the same thing here in this week. We have 60 days of happiness. 60 days of the month of Adar. If there's any bad things, then these 60 days should negate them. This is a giving of power to negate all the negative things and to transform them to good until they're even fit for the Jewish people to consume, to eat, and be blood and flesh and blood, like our flesh and blood. Like it says, Davrim Charifim or Chamutzim. Something like we have, let's say, a piece of meat that's very, very sharp or bitter, and you know how to put spices on it so that it comes out good, tastes good. So this is like a cuisine that returns the soul, right? If you know a person that knows how to take things that are unedible, and because they don't taste good, and to put spices on it to make them taste good, that's a big talent. That's a big talent if you know how to do it. Says the Rebbe, that's the point of the Jewish people. The happiness of the Jewish people can transform the bad things in this world to good, especially if you have 60 days of happiness. The number 60 is a number which is famous for negating bad tastes, like we just explained. Gimel, and this is the main thing. By means of this extra month of Adar, and there comes a completion in the months of the moon that make them equal to the days of the sun. In other words, what's happening over here? Every day that we go according to the Jewish calendar, according to the months, it becomes a little bit sort of uneven. The sun and the moon are sort of becoming like not synchronized with one another, until finally it becomes so exaggerated that if it would continue this way, then the holidays would be in the wrong seasons. So we have to have 1 month that fixes it up. When that month does fix it up, then everything is exactly in sync. After that, things become unsynchronized again, little by little. Says that's the hinting at that in the future that the light of the moon will be like the light of the sun. That's the way it was when God created the world. It says 70 times like the light that was there in the beginning of creation. In the future, what says that the moon is going to be new like the sun, because it's a better type of light that comes from darkness. So the moon, because it was darkened, when it returns back to its great original glory, it'll even be greater. It'll even be greater because it went from darkness to light. All of this is hinted at in a year that there's 2 Udars, because that puts everything back into synchronizing. The moon and the sun become together again. This is also especially in this year that Rosh Chodesh Adar falls on Tuesday. That's this year. That's by us also. This was the Rebbe said this 30 years ago, and it's the same exact thing this year. Excuse me, just 1 second. Adar, the first month of Adar, there's 2 months of Adar, right? But the first month of Adar, Rosh Chodesh, it began on Tuesday and Wednesday. Yom Shlishi, Tuesday is the day that God, when he created the world, he said it was good. He said it twice. Kiflain l'toshia. He said that God saw what he did and it was good, and he said again that it was good. And this fixes up the negative things that happened on the day before Shlishi, on the second day. What happened on the second day? God made division. That's why it says that on the third day that God said it was good twice. One was because he really finished what he began on the second day, and one was because he did the work of that day, of the third day. So every day has its own good quality, and own good quality. The second day of creation didn't have any good quality. There was just created division. Rakia, there was created division. That's not a good thing. The third day, it says that first of all, there was made peace between them. So that finished the work of the second day. The division, the heavens and the earth, there was made peace between them. And also, so that finished the work of the second day. And also it did the work of the third day of its own. That was the first day of Rosh Chodesh. The first day of Rosh Chodesh this year, Adar, which Adar is the month we said that puts everything in proper order. The first day was on Tuesday. Tuesday is a blessed day. It's blessed twice. In the creation, when God created the world, he made it that Tuesday was a blessed day. It said 2 times Kito. And Yom Revi. Rosh Chodesh was on 2 days. Tuesday, Yom Shlishi, and Revi, Yom Wednesday. Shabo nitlu shleim oros agadolim. That's when there was God put the 2 big lights in the heavens, the sun and the moon. That this hints at that the light of the moon will be like the light of the sun. That was what it means, the light of the 7 days of creation. Just like it was before, it became less. Like it says, V'yasa Elokim shteim oros agadolim. It says on the 4th day that God made the 2 big lights. 2 big lights. And then it says immediately after that, on the same day, the big light he put in the day and the little light he put in the night. So there were 2 big lights in the beginning. What happened? One of them became small. So it says that for whatever reason, God made the moon small. The main thing is joining these 2 days of Rosh Chodesh Adar, Rishon, Shlishi, Revi, Gimel, Vadalid. When you put them together, this is the word God. God means Mazel Tov. God was one of the sons of Leah. Leah, who was born from the handmaid of Leah. Zilpah. And God gave Leah, the wife of the how do you say, the unwanted wife of Jacob. Jacob wanted to marry Rachel. And instead he gave her Leah, and Leah she gave birth to 6 sons altogether, and her handmaid, the Zilpah, gave birth to 2, and one of them was called God. God means good luck. That's the word God means. So that's this month of Adar was on the 3rd day and the 4th day. So there's some months that can have 2 days of the first day of the month, 2 days. So that was this month of Adar. The first day of the month, Rosh Chodesh, was on the 3rd and the 4th day of the week. That means God. God means good luck. Okay, listen, what's the Rebbe trying to do over here? The Rebbe is trying to bring something positive out of every detail of the world. And like we said before, the spiritual is much more real than the physical is. Right? Like we just finished talking about before. A person that's honest, right? He's honest, so the world doesn't have such a big hold on him. He has a chance to steal $100, a chance to steal $1,000, and no one's going to catch him. $100 is real. The $1,000 is real. But he's got honesty. because he has honesty, so that money doesn't appear to him. So what's more real, the honesty or the money, right? If a person is really honest, then the spiritual thing called honesty is more real than the money is. That person has a chance to cheat, a person to lie, but he's honest. So if he would cheat and lie, he would get away with it for sure. He knows. It's a situation where he would. But he wants to be honest. He wants to have love. He wants to have truth. These spiritual things are more real than the same thing. The Rebbe wants to point out this good spirituality, the principles which are behind everything in the physical world. And by means of that, the physical world will become subservient. It'll become a vehicle for these spiritual things, for honesty, for truth, for blessing. He says that's the idea of when the first day of Adar, first 2 days of the month of Adar are Gimel, Dalet on the third and the fourth day of the week. That's God. God means good luck. This is also a connection to the birth of Moses, that Moses was born on the 7th day of Adar. 7, 3, and 4 is 7. 7th day of Adar. Like when you put them together, 3 and 4, then this comes to 7. Namely, that the birth of Moses on the 7th day of Adar, this is what caused the strengthening and the superiority of this month, the spirituality of this month of Adar, Bari V'Tokav Mazli. B'chol Chodesh Adar, in this whole month of Adar. And then it includes the 2 days of Rosh Chodesh, Gimel, etc., etc. Okay, now you have to remember another thing also, that in the holiday of Purim, which happened in the month of Adar, the Jews had absolutely no chance whatsoever of survival. They couldn't hide. Their next door neighbors knew exactly where they were. There was no place to hide. In the Holocaust, people could try to get out. They could get out. They ran away to Russia. They ran away to somewhere. In Haman, there was nowhere to run away. There was no time to run away. The command was to kill all the Jews in one day. And everybody had their sights on their next door neighbor, on where it was. On their friend. If all the Jews were already known to all the non-Jews. They were living harmoniously together, so there was no secret. There was nowhere. The Jews had no chance, and they were outnumbered. Who knows, 1,000 to 1, 500 to 1. And miraculously, the Jews won. And so we see that the month of Adar is not just a successful month, it's a month that transforms nature totally. These Kabbalah's Muslim Shal Yisrael. I can explain that that's the main thing of the mazel of the Jewish people. Because Moses was born in this month. And a little bit deeper, mazel of the Jewish people, this refers on the source of the Jewish soul. The word mazel means luck, but the word mazel also means to drip. And godliness that drips into the world. This is the source of the soul that drips life into the soul, how it's in the body. Like it's known, Sharitas and Neshama, that when the soul comes down into the physical world, to be clothed in a body, this is just a ray of the soul. But the main part of the soul remains above, right? Which we can see sometimes. A Jew is a regular person like everybody else, and suddenly he says there was a famous case with Sandy Koufax, famous thing. I don't know what it was. It was the what was it called? I forgot the word. What can I do? Anyway, he was the pitcher, and it was in the big playoffs. Somehow the word skipped my mind. For the national championships of the baseball team, it's 1956 or something. I don't remember what it was. And the World Series. Oh, the World Series. World Series. And he was the big pitcher. He was a very good pitcher. And he was the pitcher, I think, for the Dodgers or something like that. I was just a little kid back then. And I remember, and he was a totally not observant Jew. And he didn't pitch on Yom Kippur. One of the days pitched Yom Kippur. And I think that his team lost because of that. Anyway, he pitched this, and the Rebbe spoke about it. To be the pitcher at the World Series, what is Yom Kippur for this person? Absolutely nothing. What is Yom Kippur? It's a day like another day. Fast on another day. If to fast on that day, it was who in America would not dream to be the pitcher for the Dodgers in the World Series? Anybody would give his leg in order to do a thing like that. And he said, no, it's Yom Kippur, not pitching. It shook up the whole entire Jewish world. They saw there's something more important than being the pitcher for the winning team in the World Series. How could there possibly be anything more important than that? And he said, no, Yom Kippur is. Yom Kippur is. What does it mean? That one deed that a person does relating to time can change the whole entire world. That's what's called the mazel. Suddenly he felt his mazal. He felt the essence of his soul. The essence of his soul suddenly woke up. He says, "Akol talui b'mazel." Everything depends on mazel. That's what the rabbis say. Ein mazel Yisrael. The Jewish people don't have mazal. What does it mean, mazal? It means the Jewish people don't have a mazal like the stars. They're not under the stars and the zodiac like all the other nations do. The Jewish people are above all that. But the Jewish people, they do have mazal. And what is their mazal? Is ayin. That's what it means. Ayin mazal Yisrael. The infiniteness of God. And that's the mazal of the Jewish people. That's this level of ayin. Ayin. It's a printing error over here. It should be an aleph yud nun. He wanted to make a little mark over here so that you see aleph nun yud. Like it says, like it says that wisdom comes from ayin. Ayin, it's a level which cannot be possibly revealed. That's the power of what's called Mesirut Nefesh, which is above understanding. Mesirut Nefesh means giving up your will, right? That was the Sandy Koufax. All of a sudden, he was willing to give up everything just because he's a Jew, right? A Jew on Yom Kippur. And the Indians, this is especially stressed in the birth of Moses in the month of Adar, which this is also the birth of the Jewish people. Moses is Israel, because birth is connected to the essence of the existence of someone which is above any name. When a person is born, what do we know about him? We don't know about his personality. We don't know about his intelligence. We don't know if he's a good person, a bad person. We don't know if he's normal. We know that he is. That's all we know. The baby is born. That's it. That when Moses was born, you couldn't see that he was a great person. You couldn't see. It says that the house was filled with light. Okay. But they didn't necessarily understand what was the implications. When a person, when he was born, he didn't even have a name. Afterwards, it says, Rome is al etzam and neshama. This is called the essence of the soul, which is above the 5 names which are called to the soul. It says Moses was born circumcised. That's what it says. Right afterwards, he was called Moshe. These gabros mazlim shel Yisrael. That's what it means, mazel. The mazel is the ayin. The Jewish people come from the essence of God. That's the mazal. And once in a while, the Jew feels it. When he feels this essence of God, what does he feel? Tremendously Jewish. He feels just so grateful that he exists. And he's connected to the creator of the universe. Now we can connect the connection between the birth of Moses and Purim. That Haman didn't know that on the first day of Udar, that on the month of Adar, Moses was born. Because we see that all of the days that the Jewish people were in danger because of the decree of Haman, that all of the Jewish people were Mesirut Nefesh Mamish. They were self-sacrificing. Why? Because every moment they were ready to be killed by Haman. Mesirut Nefesh al Kiddush Hashem. Why? Because if the Jews were prepared just to change the religion, the decree was to kill all the Jews. As soon as a Jew would say, I'm not Jewish, if they would change their religion, then Haman wouldn't do anything to them. That he only made a decree on the Jews. And the decree was hanging over their heads for 1 full year. But he threw the lots in the beginning of Nisan, and the decree was to kill the Jews in Adar. The Jewish people, no, there was not one Jew that even thought to say, I'm not Jewish. Didn't even come, not one Jew even thought, not one woman, not one child, right? Among the Jewish people, there's all sorts of Jews. There's Jews that are wild Jews. There are Jews that don't care about Judaism. The Jews, suddenly, all of a sudden, and all these Jews, they participated in the meal of Haman, of Achashverosh. And suddenly came this decree to kill all the Jews should have said, okay, I'm not Jewish. That's the decree. Wait, there's Jews. I'm sure there were Jews that were lawyers. They looked at this paper and said, hey, I got a way out. Right? I found a loophole. The decree is to kill all the Jews. All you have to do is just say, I'm not Jewish, and they won't kill you. No, are we going to do it? I'm not going to do it. What about you, lawyer? Are you going to do it? I'm not going to do it either. Why not? I don't know. I just can't bring myself to say I'm not Jewish. But you're going to get killed. You want to die? Oh, I don't want to die. That's for sure. So say you're not Jewish. I'm not going to do that either. But you're going to die. You want to die? No. So say you're not Jewish. No. The whole thing didn't make any sense. But that's what's called the mazel of the Jewish people. The mazel is the ayin, the essence of the Jew, that he can't separate himself from his Judaism because it's the truth, right? Like I said before, the person that decides is going to be honest, no matter how much he loses, he's made a firm decision. I'm going to be honest. Honest is rooted in his soul. Here, the Jewish people, and every Jewish person's soul is rooted Judaism. The power of this is when the essence of the soul is revealed. That's the whole idea of the birth of Moses, was just the revelation of the essence of the Jewish people. As we're going to talk about more, God willing, tomorrow, I hope I remember where we're at. Hey, okay, good. Let's just do the Yom Yom. Beautiful, beautiful. We have an extra month to prepare for Purim. My father said it is a tremendous gift of God to have a feeling for doing a kindness for other people, to get a pleasure from doing good. This can develop to the point that a person loves others more than he loves himself. A person could find a lot of explanations on himself why, God forbid, bad things happen to him. Right? I can explain, a person can justify bad things happening to himself, but to do something with other people, this is absolutely impossible, right? See somebody else is sick, I deserved it, right? Somebody else lost his money, the guy's a cheater. No, you can't say that. But if, God forbid, it happens to myself, then I can say, listen, I probably deserved it. This probably was it. To feel the pain of somebody else is a gift. Have a good day with Moshiach now, God willing. Listen, today, I don't think we're going to have a class at 3:00. I have to go somewhere. Good chance I will not be here at 3:00, but I'll make the class later. So if you see that I'm not here, don't worry. It's part of the plan. Have a good day with Moshiach now.